Sports bettors are being conned, but it doesn't need to be that way. With Betting-Analyst as your friend, you're going to be well prepared for the future. Knowledge is power, and in this upload there is something for everyone. So let's crack on. So first things first, and that is winners are not welcome. Ask any professional gambler and they're going to confirm the same. The biggest problem is if you show any knowledge, you're going to get limited very quickly. Now, if you're just an average guy and you win a big sum, you've done a 20-team parlay and you've won 50,000 for like a $10 stake, you're going to get paid. And the reason for that is it's a marketer's dream. And also, you're the type of consumer that they are looking for. But if you start showing a little bit of knowledge, you're doing advantage playing, you're beating the CLV, or you're just an intelligent, sharp punter, then I'm afraid the bookmakers won't want to know you. Bookmakers, they profile all accounts. So it is important that you understand this if you want to get the most out of winning accounts. This is something that you need to take on board. Now there are outliers, there are like the Pinnacle Sports, there are the Betfairs of this world, the betting exchanges, but them, again, that's because they work on a different system. Bookmakers are not angels, they are your enemy, treat them as such. That brings me nicely on to number 2, which is VIP status. Hotels, car rentals, airlines all have programs in place to create customer loyalty. They might offer upgrades, free rooms, flights, discounts and other incentives. In the case of sportsbooks, VIP status is given to serial losers. If you're an eye roller who doesn't have a clue, the red carpet will be rolled out. They're going to give you tickets to sporting events. They're going to give you reload bonuses, free bets, rebates, you name it. They're going to just do anything to keep you happy and on board. Moreover, betting limits will be raised so that you can lose faster. The important thing to understand here is if anybody is ever bragging about VIP status, right, then you know they are a serial loser. And if you're one of them, get in touch, maybe we can do something about it. Now you need to know this one. Betting sites are conspiring with sportsbooks. Did you know most tipping and forum websites are affiliates? This is not the case with Betting-Analyst, our website. We refuse to promote because we have a conscience. If a website is sending traffic, new clients to Bet365, they are paid 30% of a customer's losses. Some books are even paying 50%. Have you ever seen a betting tip with odds from a bookmaker and a link next to it? That is an affiliate. It's not rocket science. If you lose, the webmaster wins. And what about bookmakers giving their own tips? You have to be absolutely crazy to read or to get interested in one. Now, don't get me wrong, websites are entitled to make money. It's just that this is a two-sided blade. My advice, stay away if they're an affiliate. Let's do a quick one on pundits promoting betting picks. If you hear a pundit giving out tips or picks, let it go in one ear and come out the other. Take Paul Merson, for example. He confessed to losing around 7 million over a 35-year gambling addiction. It's absolutely mind-boggling that the ex-Arsenal player is a pundit and betting tipster on the TV. Whether he's morally corrupt, you decide. But other top sports players who like wagging their tongues are, Wayne Rooney, 500k lost in 2 hours gambling on the tables. What about John Daly? He's said to have lost 75 million. Of course, the big mouth Floyd Mayweather, who bets 25 to 400,000 a game because the bookmakers are quite happy to lay him. When it comes to betting, I will always tell my clients not to listen to racing pundits or any ex-sports person, and I advise you to do exactly the same. Sportsbooks adapt lines to popularity. Now, the bookmakers know that the typical punter isn't very odds savvy. So in this instance, you imagine a well-supported club, let's say Manchester United, and they're playing Lazio. They know that the majority of the money is going to go on Manchester United because they've got more supporters. What about if England are playing Germany? Now you imagine in the UK, for example, England could be odds of 2.5, 3-3 the draw, and 2.8 Germany. But in Germany, it would be the other way around. Germany would be favourites and England would be 2.8. In horse racing, imagine top trainers, Willie Mullins, Michael Stout. If you have a look how they perform to £1 level stakes, right, they've got minus 22 and minus 25%. And the reason for that is quite simple, because they know that the punters are going to be betting them. And then on top of that, you've got the racing owner syndicates. You know, they know that there's a big group of people going to be betting this horse and they're going to price it accordingly. And then, of course, finally, you've got the likes of the racing post tipsters, or even tipsters who are well known. Take Henry Ricks, for example. If he puts up a 33-1 shot, who's going to get the 33-1? Nobody, because the bookmakers are also subscribing and they know everybody's going to be betting that, so they just reduce the line to 16. Following on, positives or negatives. The betting public want to bet something to happen. Odds are adjusted according to betting expectation. So for example, points and goals markets, the majority of punters want to bet over. So if an NFL game came out at 47.5 points with the data, Sportsbooks would set it 1 point higher at 48.5. If the correct line for a football soccer game is perched at 2.5 goals, what the bookmakers do in this instance is, instead of giving equal odds, they will go over at 1.85 and give the under at higher odds at 1.95. So people who are betting level stakes on positives are probably finishing minus 7%, whereas if you're doing it on the negatives, it's going to be minus 3%. What keeps the bookmakers and sportsbooks a little bit honest is competition and knowing that informed punters will swim against the tide. Conspiracy theorist. The average person buys into conspiracy theories. COVID is a good example, but let's not get into the politics. In sports betting, the average Joe doesn't take much convincing that a team in need of points will get them. With this in mind, it is fair to expect that the odds will be adjusted according to the customer's habits. For example, a club fighting against relegation might have been odds of 3.30 in mid-season in that same fixture, but they are 1.80 purely because they need the points. And it's not just about the end of seasons. What about missing key players? When the news comes out that a team is without a top player, the market can move drastically. The fact is, long-term data proves that motivation is often outdone by the fear factor. If you are swimming towards Niagara Falls, it won't end good. Bear that in mind. This is something you might not have considered, and that is selling a dummy. Changing odds and moving lines without any reason. I've done it myself as a course bookmaker, and it happens all the time on the betting exchanges. Market movement is often a bluff. Betting company reps will often say on television, the faces are forcing the odds down, but you don't have to believe it. Moving lines push punters into action, and that is the only challenge for a bookmaker to create a market as compulsive nature. Sportsbooks have a duty of care to protect vulnerable punters. However, they are always getting fined for not protecting the consumer. Truth be known, all they want is mug money. KYC, know your customer, is often an excuse to profile the punter and make it harder for professionals to get into the system. Believe me, Denise Coates wouldn't stop and throw a bucket of water on you if you were on fire. It's all a play. They are the matrix. If you have a compulsive nature, stay away. So finally, number 10, incentives are bait. Give a person a taste and they will want more. Incentives are meant to capture new, clueless clients and keep existing, losing clients happy. They trigger punters into a reaction, in other words, betting. As professional gamblers, we don't need financial incentives to stay on board. However, if your game is hit and run, do a role reversal and abuse the sportsbooks and take everything from them. P.S. If you are receiving a birthday present from the sportsbook, it's because you are losing and not because Bet365 or Denise Coates are thinking of you. Well, I genuinely hope that you got something from this video. We've got a load on this channel. You should check them out if you've got the time. You can give us a like, you can subscribe, but most importantly, keep learning. It is your job to beat the sportsbooks at their own game. It's relatively easy once you get the knowledge, and that's what we do here. So you're through to boot camp for now. We'll catch you in the next one soon. Bye bye.